Good morning. I am Tessa-Marie. Welcome to the Morning Blessings. How are you feeling today? Today is Monday, February 25th, 24th, 2025. Wow. A beautiful and amazing day. Good morning, Colin. How are you feeling today? It is a nice day. It's warmer than it has been for a while. And they said we are going to get as high as 5. Things are looking up. Oh, it would be so wonderful to continue with that if we could. So, hello, Nancy. Thought of you. And then this early morning. So there you guys are. It's one of those mornings where you know things are changing when they're telling us it's going to be 5 today. That's cool. And so that means it will be maybe about 38 degrees today. So that might help to melt all that ton of snow we have. So let's get the show on the road. A little bit of golden triangle tea is happening this morning. So look at our heading. Did I put a heading? I don't know if I did. Maybe I did. Oh yeah, I did. Stop Sun Life's journey. When we are on the journey called life, sometimes we get afraid. Things happen to us and we are afraid. We have changes that comes along the journey. And I lost one of my neighbors last Monday. She was really a nice lady, 94 years old. And she wasn't sick for a long time and she passed away. But Jessie had a really interesting journey. I remember when Andy passed, she said to me, her husband, I don't want to put it on this thing because, the children hadn't dealt with him since we got married. And they're not talking to him. And she said, I really don't need that stress. And I said, well, you don't need it. You don't have to do it. And she said the same thing too. She said, my son got married to a lady who doesn't want to deal with us, and he went that way. If I sent a gift to the grandchildren, they sent it back. But you know what I noticed? That never stopped Jessie from smiling, from having a joke, for celebrating. Neither did it stop Andy, her husband. So that is just a precursor to what I can share because somebody I know expressed it to me. So sometimes you raise children, you have them, and then all of a sudden you're not good enough or something is wrong or that. And it's okay though, because you did your best. And that's what she always said. She said it was important for him to maintain his family, my son. So I don't know if he even is aware that his mom has passed away. The granddaughters came to the door to tell me. I knew she went to the hospital and they came to tell me. And so when we are, hello Marina, good morning. How are you feeling this morning? So when we are on this journey, the most important thing is that never be afraid of the journey ahead. Stay where you are and you will succeed. You'll get through this. Where your thoughts go, there you are. It's just simple. Wherever your thoughts go, that's where you're going to be. Now, this is really, really tricky and it's challenging for me to stand there. And I know what it's like to harness my thoughts and tell it, no. Do not ever, our thoughts are like wild horses. Our thoughts, they need to be tamed. And if we don't take the time to tame our thoughts, they're going to really, really send us in places where we don't want to go. So where the thoughts will take you is like wild horses will not stay away. It won't keep you away. So you have to take that thought that you realize that's defeating and move it because you're on a journey. And there are many different types of pit stops. You have to have pit stops. Otherwise, that journey is futile. And when you know you have given your best, to know whatever it is you have done, and it happens to be, it's not a pleasant time after that action, there isn't anything you can do to make it go away. It's not going to go away. That's why the journey of life has different types of weather, different types of places you visit, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes really deeply spiritually. Good morning, sister. How are you feeling this morning? So we have to remember our thoughts are like wild horses. Our thoughts need to be tamed, because if we do not put that effort into taming our thoughts, we might end up in the same pit stop over and over again. You know, one of the things that really makes it easier to do, good morning, Kimberly, is that when we go there, when we allow our thoughts to just go like a wild horse, we can fall off. We can fall. We can't hold the rein. My grandfather had a few horses at Bartley Estate, and I was on one for fun. I didn't even know, I was quite young, and it got stung by a bee, and of course it threw me off. So there I go. But it wasn't devastating, but it was hurtful. Hello, Angie. How are you feeling this morning? But that was just one stop. That didn't stop me, though. Whenever we went there again, and they were there, I tried to go on, and I did. So that was what happened. The bee stung, it got wild, it went away. So what is the bee that has happened to you that caused you to be having a difficult, challenging time right now? The bee stung the horse and it threw me off. The bee, I still have scars from my knees, right on my leg, on the front, because it dragged me. It didn't mean much. I was young, maybe 13, 14. But what I'm saying is that when we are on this life journey, we are going to get a thing that happens. So the bee stung the neighbor. The neighbor comes running and crashes into you. The bee stung something. Sometimes you're just doing it, going away your business, and the bee comes and affects somebody that caused it to affect them, the behavior. And that is one of the things we have to remember. When we are on this journey, we need to understand there are various things that happen, and it's up to us to take that thought and keep it back. But we have something inside of us that we have to learn how to think of what has passed. If it passed, why are we taking it? They say it's a mistake, and they have said over and over, do not dwell on the mistakes. You are on a journey. You are learning. You are in different stages of your life. You have heard me talk about the stages of life are like stages in finance. They balance, they're parallel. You start developing. And when you are developing anything, chances are you will misstep. You'll make a mistake. You'll do something wrong. But that doesn't mean that you carry it forever with you. It's a mistake. You need to leave it alone. If you stay on it, then there you are. And you will never see what is happening right in front of you. The awareness is now. As you get older and you seem to get more balance and you start to seek peace and tranquility and you're able to absorb, one of the things we need to do with our mind is stop. So you are in a room and the lights are on, but there are no lights anywhere else outside of that room. The moment you turn off the light, you need to realize, hey, I need to pause and let my eye get accustomed to the darkness. Think of it. How many times have you turned off the light and walked into the edge of the door? Not because you do not know that the door is there, but you did not become aware and wait for the light to come, for your eyes to get accustomed to the darkness, and the door frame will stand out. So we walk into things, and that is part of the journey. Does that mean you will never go back into that room again and have the lights on, or you will have the lights on everywhere all the time? If you were to do this, in the world we are entering now, your electric bill would be beyond what you could pay. What does that create? Another concern. Another, what am I going to do? Why is this bill so expensive? You see what I mean? So that is why when we are on this journey, I want you guys to share what your thoughts are on this. When we're on that journey, we have to realize the day you walk into the wall because you turn off the light and you were rushing, ask yourself the question, couldn't I just pause? And it's not even 30 seconds. I timed it, you see. It's like 3. It takes 3 seconds of stopping, moving your hand from the switch and pause before you make a step into the room that is dark until your eyes get accustomed. Our eyes do get accustomed to it, you know. So that's why life, when you get these experiences, we get accustomed to them. We then decide while we're in them, what are we going to do with them? Share your thoughts on that. We need to learn from each other. And what I experience, I share. When my friends know, and I tell them, if you tell me this and it's something that is not too personal, I will share it because there's somebody out there that is going through the same thing with you. So, maybe not today, but maybe that person is coming out behind us in 20 years when most of us perhaps won't be here. Good morning, Betty. How are you feeling today? So, on this journey, the pit stops are where we have to pause. And sometimes, if we do not pause, what happens? If we keep going without realizing that our mind needs pause, our mind can go. It does go. It does go. Sometimes it goes really far because it will take off and it will go in the past, and then they say we are sick and they put us away. Right? So we need to realize where the mind goes. Whatever you are doing now and thinking, that's where you're going to go. I don't mean when we get older and all of these things, just now in life. So our thoughts are like wild horses. We need to realize we need to bring it in line with where it is we desire to go. Because if we let it take control, it will move us to where we maybe will regret having been. And that's a brand new story. A brand new attitude becomes because of that. So where your thoughts go, there you are. No. Good morning, Arita. How are you feeling this morning? I need you guys to tell me what I'm saying, if it makes sense. Where your thoughts go, there you are. Think about it. If you continuously let your thoughts go to all the injustices that have happened to you, if you get your mind saturated with the hurts that happened to you, if you keep going and allow them to cover you, to hold you down, your mind goes there, you'll be there, you're going to feel it. If it hurt 20 years ago and you think of it today, it's going to hurt. It's still going to hurt. And that is why we all have to realize wherever our mind goes, there we are, nowhere else. We are going there. It doesn't really matter. So that's why in awareness though, we have to learn what to do in the moment. Like I said, pause in before you enter the room after you've turned off the light in the room where you were. It's your house. You know where everything is. You place the furniture in the right places. But if you did everything so quickly, you can't see. And you're really not aware. And what do? You bolt into something. Another thing that is people don't realize is balance. When you wake up in the morning, you should have the time to pause. Just pause. The advocate still lying in bed and stretch out a bit. Pausing. These are pit stops on journey. You're still in life, although you're lying on the bed. You're not dead. You're awake. You're asleep. You're still going through life. So when you decide to get up, be aware of how you're waking up out of the bed. Where your thoughts go, there you are. How many times have you rushed out of the bed? Oh, I'm dizzy. I'm off balance. Yes, you are. We all are. Because we were lying prostrate back or side or however we split stomach. And all of a sudden we wake up and we just think we can bolt. Maybe when we were a teenager, when we were a kid. But as you go on this journey, you have to be aware of what it is you're doing so you do not hurt yourself. And that is important. Pause. Stop. Seconds, not minutes. And that thing we must learn to do to refresh ourselves after a task. After you have this list of daily goals and you accomplish one, it's time to, if your daily goal was to sit and do something, the next 5 minutes or so, you should stand and walk around. You should pause and drink some water. It's the most difficult time of the year to drink water in winter. And yet, it is the most important time of the year to have water because the heat in the homes is drying us up. You guys are just not helping me this morning, are you? That's okay though. So, what I'm saying is, our thoughts are wild. We go where they go. We push them where we go because we listen to them. We think about them. We make them make us happy. Or we make them make us sad. Or we make them make us sit in the home of regret with all the people who regretted the steps that they took that they cannot change it now. Right? What did Willie Nelson said? Regret is etched on my brow, and I can do nothing about it now. So we need to understand that. So when our thoughts are taking us there, should we remember, hey, yeah, that's not going to help me. It's not. It's going to make me feel worse. 20 times worse. And that is what we have to remember. And stop and say, okay, why am I allowing myself to stop on this pit stop? There is never food there. They don't have gas there. They have nothing. There's all sun. There is no shade. Why am I stopping here? It's cold. Question yourself. Why are you stopping on a pit stop that has nothing better? And you know that already. That's the thing that really stops us from being who we are. We already know the result. If we take that thought and we keep carrying it, we are going to make noises with our mouths. That's not necessary. You know what I mean? What does that do? Tension. All of that. But consciously you say, no, not today. Not today. You're not doing this to me today. I had enough of you over the last few years. Come on, let's go your way. Let me go my way. Sometimes we have to talk to ourselves like this. You know, I'm trying to see, this thing is not moving. So those of you who are joining, just say something, because when you make a motion, then it lets me know you're here. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that, Angie. Our thoughts will keep us in the darkness that it is accustomed to. Remember, they told us to accept where we are. But we made a mistake. And where we are, we don't like it. Some people stay there and they end up hurting themselves even more. It could be a job. It could be a house, a rental place, a house where you live and the area is not good for you. It could be simple as there is not sufficient shopping and you do not want to drive miles to find what you desire. So, what are you going to do? Sit there and worry about what you cannot do and not taking steps as to what you can do. Welcome everybody to the morning blessings. That's all I can say. Instagram isn't moving. I don't know. I'm tired of it. But anyway, I cannot change it. And it says Monday. It will do all kinds of funny things, but there we are with it on Monday. Do not ever regret the choices you made on the journey so far. If you had better information, maybe you would have made better choices. If somebody has told you that you should push and go a little further and try a little harder, maybe your choices would have been better. But nobody told you that. You see, I've learned to live my life. That's what Juliana said. And we have to do that. We have to learn to live our life. Our life is based on our choices. Regret is etched on the brow. It's there. You know you shouldn't have. But you can do nothing about it now, like the man said. So what do? Do you get angry at someone else and blame this person? Sometimes we get into situations we have nothing to do. I always remind you guys that there are people who would show up at the bank and man, they come today to cause some ruckus. That was the MO. Colleen and Betty can attest to that. You'd swear they woke up this morning, got dressed in a hurry. Their face looks like they were fighting, having a war in their sleep, or maybe they never sleep. They might be up all day, all night, because they need to come and correct us for 25 cents. A quarter. But come they do. And they're so detailed that they'll have a full thing to show you, well, this month had 31 days. But they never told us that February had 28 and we should take some money back. No. But they wanted 25 cents. So they came ready. When I realized this was a regular thing, I told the tellers to put a $20 in quarters at their back. And every time they came, before they can start the repertoire, the story about this 25 cents, give them the 25 cents and say thank you. Okay, Mr. Smith. Okay, Mr. Shapiro. I could name them all for you. But that was what they came with. Should we duck? We can't. That was our responsibility. Should we carry it into the next hour? Oh, no, we shouldn't. If you wait long enough, the person that disturbs you, you will turn around and you will see that, hey, that's where their mind were. Guess what? That's where they are today. I told you, we have to watch what we say, what we think. It applies to those that come to embarrass us, to make us feel less than, not worthy, or whatever, or greed. They want everything. Just wait long enough. It does happen. That's where their minds are. That's where they're going to go. They want to defeat others. They'll defeat themselves. So we have to realize on this journey, we're going to meet this. Now, for what you are now, it's important to realize what you are now. What are you now? Where are you now? Nancy says, I've learned to live my life. Who else was there? But you guys, and Angie said she needed that. So I said the third point was, do not ever regret the choices you made on the journey so far. You're still on the journey. Remember that though. What you are now is from the journey you have been on. What you are today is because of that journey that you've been traveling on. That's why you are this today. How you behaved, and maybe you didn't know better. We don't know better, because when we're developing, we don't know better. Don used to, and the boys would drive down from the plant estate with the truck and on freewheeling down a windy, snaky road. You think she'll do that today? No, she won't. You think she's going to say, I'm a boy and I need to dress like a boy to go to church? Because she was born right between all these boys? No, she won't. But that memory remains from me that watched her and listened to her talking like that. And we have that. Can that be changed? No, it can't. But it's what made her a strong, independent woman. So we have to realize that what you are now is based on entirely what you did then. And you can answer it if you are pleased with it, like Sidney Poitier did. When they told him, what would you alter in your life if you could? And he said, nothing. To alter anything, I would not be who I am today. And I love who I am today. And if you can say that in the face of those that would prefer to see you not be you, then you're strong. And you are like what Nancy says, I have learned to live my life. When you come to that point in your life, when you stand there strongly and you realize, hey, I have learned to live my life exactly as I choose. It's not somebody else's life. And all those pit stops, they made the journey challenging, funny, interesting. Look at me. Here I am, and most of you I've never met. And there you guys are. And did you think when you were 20 you'd be listening to a black woman from the island of Dominica speaking? No. Did I believe I would stand up there when I was going through the journey called life as a younger woman? I had a need, I felt it, I wanted to help. But I didn't know where the journey was going. And on that journey, it was not easy. It had challenges. It had nappy dogs napping at my heels. It had others that wished I didn't exist. It had others that told me to shut up and sit down. Stop doing this. And I always wondered, if you have a desire to do something and you have chosen not to do it because somebody told you you shouldn't do this at that age, you have to sit now again in the moment and ask yourself this question. If not this, then what? What is better for me than getting ready, getting dressed, waking up at 4:15 in the morning, exercising for 30 minutes, not sweaty, but exercising for 30 minutes, doing my prayer, meditation, gratitude journal, conversations with God, visualization, having a shower, getting dressed, putting makeup on, all of this. What would I do? Me. So ask yourself that question. If you are not doing what you're doing now and somebody is telling you to stop this, you need to tell them, leave me alone. Are you okay? Are you okay? You don't have to be rude. You just have to say, are you okay? I think Dawn had something else she said. So glad you continue to stand and open your mouth. Thank you. And they tell you you're not good enough. But then, put your glasses on, not your sunshade. Put your glasses on and take a look at them and say, okay. Do I want to be like them? No, you can't, and you shouldn't want to be like anybody, but I have learned to live my life. And if your mouth, Arita, has to open and speak. At least you'll have fresh breath. Think about that. What would I do at 78 years old? Sit in a chair? Have you sat in a chair for 10 minutes and see how difficult it is to get up as you age? Come on. Thank you, Nancy. So that's what we have to realize. Oh, your half an hour of morning blessing is too long. Oh, it's this. And don't come. Don't come. Don't show up. I do not care who shows up. I do it because I have a need to speak, to open my mouth and to speak. I know I have gone on this life journey And I have some experiences that I would like to say, hey man, there's a hole over there. When you get to that oak tree on the left side of North Avenue and East Avenue, there is a hole there. Do not be careful. Do not step into that hole. Get it? You see what you have to share. As I said to you, Colleen, I call her on the road again. My friend Colleen, I call her on the road again because she drives. She has 2 grandchildren in university, college, and she has to drop them off and ready to leave and take that. And you know what it is. And then they have part-time jobs and she's doing that. And I know she's going to do that. But if Colleen didn't have those 2 children to help, what would she be doing? Because when you retire, everybody expects you to sit your ass down and do nothing. I do not know why they want you to do that. I didn't have a plan. I had a purpose to be a human being after retirement. I told you guys that last week. When this person said to me, what are you going to do? You're going to be so bored. And I'm saying, boredom? I can sit and read for 24 hours. I can sit and write for 24 hours. My mind never, it just sees it, it feels it, the words saturate me. I enjoy it so much when I write a funny thing or nothing. I just write. So can you imagine being bored? Or like my cousin had suggested, hey, you'll be so busy if your doctor's appointment. I wanted to punch her in her face, honestly. I'm saying no, I don't want to see any doctor's appointment. I want to be fine. What do I have to do to be fine? Be me, live my own life. And when you guys share, like when Nancy said to me, I'm going to sew, I'm going to go walk, I'm going to read, I'm going to go in the greenhouse, I'm going, that's a plan. I'm getting it done. She just said I'm trying. So on life's journey, make sure you are in the journey that suits you. If your journey is a wiggly, jiggly journey, then wiggle and jiggle. If your journey is to speak, then speak. If your journey is to love, then love. If your journey is to share, then share. Do not say you do not have enough to give somebody a gift. Come on, man. Help others. Give others. Just give. You share. Wisdom, knowledge, information, or a funny joke. The point of it all is to make sure you're constantly working on that journey and being in the journey. Make sure you understand that this journey of called life have different types of pit stops. And if you're fortunate enough to do what the monks did, there are 2 monks on a journey, and they're going to a village, and they come across a young lady sitting on the bank of a raging river, all nicely dressed, and crying. The monks are not supposed to touch women, but one of the monks went up to her and said, what's wrong? Because he's supposed to comfort people. Well, I have to go to my cousin's wedding in the other village, and the only pass is always crossing this river. And normally, the river is very thin, so you just need to take off your shoes and hold up your skirt and cross, and you're fine. So he said, well, I'm going to cross. I can put you on my back and take you across the raging river. That's when you call a friend. And he did that. But before he did that, the other monk said, you know, we are not supposed to touch women. You should do this. Leave. Why are you doing this? He said, you expect me to leave the young lady on the banks of a raging river when she's supposed to be at her cousin's wedding? No, I'm going to put her on the banks, other side of the river. Put her on his shoulder, dropped her down, and she went away, and he kept going. And the other monk kept telling him, you shouldn't have done that. We're not again. You broke your vow. And he went, and then finally, the monk looked at him and said, you're the one that's still carrying her. I left her at the bank of the river. So when you made this choice and you're here now, leave it at the bank of where you're standing. Let it go. Because on this journey called life, there's going to be another opportunity. And you might have to help again over the raging waters. But if the person that you helped did not turn to say thank you, I appreciate you, I'm grateful you helped me, do not think badly of them. Take something from scripture and say what I am telling you the story. 10 were healed. 1 came back to say thank you. So if nobody came back to say thank you, you're standing right next to a great prophet, a great person, Jesus Christ. That's what he said. So do not look like somebody used you or abused you. Look at, hey, I was able to serve. And that is what it's all about on this life journey. There are going to be different types of stops. You can help make my stop easier by telling me of your experiences. And I can use it to help make my life easier. And if I do that, then I can share it with those that follow. In other words, you're on the top of the ladder, halfway up, and you decided, I am going to drop my belt so Rita can come and help come up the ladder. Nancy and all of you, and Betty and Colleen and Azim and everybody can grab onto that belt and come up the ladder of life. Because on this journey, hi Azim, there are many, many pit stops. Make sure that on that pit stop you pause before you step into the next area. Have a great day. I don't know if it made sense, but that's what came. Enjoy it. Hi. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Kimberly, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you, and Nancy and Betty and Azim and Colin and Arita and my sister and Angie. Thank you guys for hanging in. It is a beautiful day and everything is amazing. Your choice. Do not take the past and bring it today. Look to be aware of what's happening. And let's see how we can do with that. Have a great day. And those of you that are saying, my day is not going as I please it to go, pause. And in that muddle, that's not going how you want it to go, break it open and see, hey, there's a light. Things will clear up. The light is shining through today. Have a great day. Think about it though. Minus 21, minus 17, minus 19, and today it is 32 degrees. Can you believe that? Life changes. Have a great and wonderful morning. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.